I've been watching the Double Jump video game channel on YouTube for a while now, and I think it's time we finally buy a mystery box. I've got their website set up here. I'm going to go ahead and type mystery box into the search box, and then we are going to add the 200 and the 50 because I want to spend $250. I'm going to tell them I want NES games, SNES games, Nintendo 64 games, and I want loose cartridges. I don't care about the boxes, and I do want quality games. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. In a few days, we'll go ahead and open it up and see what we get.
Several days later.
Okay, so it's been a few days, and we finally got the package in. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what I ended up getting in it. But first, I want to say I ended up paying $274 in total. And then they offered me a refund of $12, which meant I spent $262 on all of this, which is inside this box. So let's go ahead, grab those scissors, open it up, and see what is in it. I have not even taken a peek at this, and I am super duper stoked to see what is in here. I feel like we might have some really good stuff. And right off the bat, I do see some games, but everything is packaged up. As you can see here, let's make sure we don't have any. Okay, so no. As you can see here, there is actually all the information. It doesn't say anything other than mystery box on it and kind of what I already talked about. So we'll set that aside. And let's go ahead and go through all of this, see what I ended up getting, and then we will talk about the pricing and see if this was actually ended up being worth the price. Starting off right off the top, all of this is a very well bubble wrapped in a great condition. As you can see here, there is definitely some good stuff. But starting off, you've got A Bug's Life for the Nintendo 64. This is definitely an awesome game. I think this might be a better copy than the one that I have, so that's awesome right off the bat. They had this for $10, which it is what it is, but we'll have to dig through here and see what the actual total pricing is. Ooh, I'm starting to peak a little bit, but we have Star Fox for $25. This is a great game, definitely well worth it. I'm glad to be able to add that into this collection. And so far, the condition on these is really good. I didn't tell them I really cared about condition, but let's continue on. I saw some stuff. I'm trying not to see some stuff, so let's go ahead and move on. Ooh, we've got Yoshi's Story for $25 there. Another amazing game. We're rocking the Nintendo 64 games right off the bat there. Let's see. Ooh, I see some extra stuff. I'm kind of using this bubble wrap to cover up the other stuff, but I want to keep going through the Nintendo 64 stuff. Ooh, we've got The World Is Not Enough 007 here. They had this listed at $15. Not too bad. Again, the condition on this stuff is just amazing. And look at that, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. This game is definitely an amazing game. I love that they ported this to the Switch. And it looks like this is the first one with some kind of damage. You can tell right on the top of the label and on the bottom there is a little bit of damage from the label. But as long as the games work, you know I'm not upset with it. But I see some NES games down there, and I think that is it for the Nintendo 64. So let's go ahead and move to the NES games because they are on top. Starting off, again, you can see I'm trying to kind of keep things under wraps here. It seems like these two games are together, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out Star Tropics for $9. Absolutely amazing game, and this is in really good condition like everything else has been, and it is in these little plastic sleeves for $10. Definitely an amazing NES game. If you've never played it, you definitely should. Ooh, a good copy of Rad Racer. Now, again, an amazing game. Rad Racer is so awesome for $5. These conditions of these cartridges is just insane with how nice this looks. Okay. I'm seeing some good stuff down below. We've got Tiger Heli for $5. This is a ton of fun. If you've never played this game, you definitely need to. I would highly recommend. Basically, all these games so far have been bangers, or at least have been definitely well worth playing. And here we go again. We've got Dr. Mario for $12.99 for the NES. This is a really nice cartridge. The label looks insane. Wow, this, for being as old as this is, either they do a really good job of cleaning or they do a really good job of what they're buying. Let's see, are there any more NES games? Ooh, there's a few right here. Then, what do we got here? Ooh, Bubble Bobble. Okay, here we go. Some more bangers coming out. Bubble Bobble for $15. This one is in good condition as well. I'm absolutely loving how nice of cartridges, or how clean they're getting these cartridges. It's definitely nice to see. Ooh, we've got a heavy hitter here. Contra on the NES. Again, probably one of the better NES games, maybe, depending on who you are. I definitely think this is an amazing game. So Contra on here, definitely awesome. And it looks like the last NES game here is Tiger Warrior. So for $12.99, that is definitely awesome to see. And those are all of the NES games. But we've got Super Nintendo games left here. Right off the bat, kind of peeking up at me is one of my favorite Disney games, Disney Aladdin. They had this for $12. Absolutely great game. Again, I keep talking about how awesome these conditions are, but they're really doing a good job of how much they clean it. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but I really, truly do mean it. Ooh. Then we've got Final Fight for $15 as well. This is an awesome game. If you've never played it, you definitely should. I highly suggest it. Ooh, okay. We've got Super Star Wars here. It kind of fell out of the packaging there. For $15, an amazing game that you'll definitely want to have in your collection. If you've got a Super Nintendo and you don't have Super Star Wars, you should, even though this game, if I remember correctly, this is the hard one. If I'm wrong, comment down below and let me know. And coming out of that bubble wrap, Star Wars Super Mario All-Stars. Sorry, the last one got me all confused. This one has probably seen better shape. It looks like the label has a little bubbling, but that's not a big deal to me. This game is absolutely amazing. I feel like there's nothing I could say about this game that you probably don't already know. It's got Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, and Lost Levels, which is Super Mario Bros. 2 from Japan. This game is definitely awesome. For $27, definitely a decent deal there. And last but not least, one more Super Nintendo game, and that is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I always pronounce this one backwards. I don't know why, but I do. So again, $23. This is in such great shape. I definitely am glad to see that. And it looks like we have made it to the bottom of the bubble wrap. So let me go ahead and set this stuff aside, and I'll pull out my computer and we'll see how much is all of this worth. So I've got my computer pulled up here. Let's go ahead and see what the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the N64 stacks are worth on price charting. And then we'll go ahead and tally up all the costs and see kind of what it would be if I went into the store and bought them. So let's go ahead and start off with the NES stack. We've got Dragon Warrior. And this is just the first one. They have it for $12.99. But if we look it up on the NES, it is going for $8, which it is what it is. There's some games are different. $8 for this game. This is an awesome game though, so I'm not mad about that. Then we've got Contra, which is a heavy hitter from the NES. So we can see how expensive it is there. Let's go. Okay, so it's $30. That's good. Moving in the right direction here. We've got Bubble Bobble, just the first one for $15. So I'll go ahead and switch over to price charting. We'll pull it up for the NES. Wow, Bubble Bobble came out on a lot of systems. And then we've got $20, which is actually more than what they were saying it was. So that's pretty interesting. We've got Dr. Mario in a crazy good condition. I am surprised that some of these games are in so nice of condition, but they probably work hard to getting them clean. And there it is for $8. So we'll continue that. We've got Tiger Heli, which probably is a $5 game. You can see someone's name was there, but I mean, I'm not going to be mad about this. If I was going to buy an NES cartridge from anywhere, it's probably going to have writing on it, at least like 10 or 15%. This is actually worth $6, so that's good. Then we've got Rad Racer for $5 as well. I'm guessing they've got these games that are between $5 to $10 just marked at $5 to sell them, which is probably a good deal. $6 for that one. Wait, let's see. Okay, so this one is the 3-screw, so it is $6. I just want to be extra thorough there. And then last but not least, we've got Star Tropics, which is an amazing game. If you've never played it, you definitely need to. It's absolutely awesome. Oh, if I could spell it right, which has us at $10 there. So in total, that gives us $88 for the NES games. I'm going to open up another tab. And then we'll do it for SNES and then again for the Nintendo 64. So let's go ahead and move over to the Super Nintendo games now. We've got Super Ghosts and... I did it again. Every time. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I always put it backwards. They wanted $23. So let's go ahead and check that out. Ghouls and Ghosts. And it looks like for... Why is it not showing up? Oh, there it is. I was looking for NES. So they've got it at $24, which is $1 more. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then what do we have? We've got Super Mario All-Stars. They had it at $28, which I'm thinking might be a little much. However, I understand the Mario tax. It hits sometimes. So let's make sure we get the right one here. And it looks like it is only about $20 for that, which is okay. I understand. This game is going to sell a lot faster than Super Ghosts and Ghouls will any day. So that makes sense to me. We've got Super Star Wars for $15. So let's go ahead and see how much this one's worth. I don't know if it's going to be worth as much as $15, but I could definitely be wrong there. I have been wrong before, and I'm not wrong, apparently. It's about $12. So we'll go ahead and add $12 in. And then we've got Final Fight for $15 here. So again, hopping over to price charting, changing the console to Super Nintendo, and then checking it out. $14. All right, I can be happy with that. And then last but not least, Aladdin. Amazing game. If you've never played it, it's hard, but you definitely need to play it. I never know how to spell it, though, to be honest with you. You would think by now that maybe I would figure it out, but no. So they wanted $13 for it, and that is how much it's worth. So then that gives us a total of $83 for this stack. And then that is leaving us with the final stack of Nintendo 64 games. So starting off, we've got Super Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Pod Racer is not what this is called, so make sure if you're talking about it, you know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm not that upset, but some people call it Pod Racer, and they're wrong. That is not what it's called. But it looks like for the Nintendo 64, it is worth $9. Woo! It's a big money game. I'm just joking around here. Definitely an awesome game. 007, The World Is Not Enough for $8. For $15, I don't know why I said $8, but there you go. Let me go ahead and pull it up on the Nintendo 64 there. And they've got it for $14, so add another 14. Then we've got the heavy hitters here. We've got A Bug's Life, which is a game that I think people probably underrate, maybe. Some people might not agree with that, but I absolutely love it, and I played it as a kid, so maybe that's the nostalgia talking? I'm not 100% sure, but this is $8 here. Then we've got two heavy hitters. We've got Star Fox 64, which I think is probably like a $20 game. They had it for $25, and yep, I'm right. $20 there. And last but not least, Yoshi's Story. Now, we're going to have to check this out, and then I'm going to have to do some math. So we've got Yoshi's Story for $20 there. So that brings us up a total of $71 here. So let's go ahead and pull up one last calculator, and then we'll add everything up. We've got the 88 from the NES. We've got the 83 from the Super Nintendo. And then we've got the 71, which leaves us of a grand total of $242, which this was $260. So within 10%, because $20 is within 10%. Actually, I think this is not bad. I think if you factored in all of the condition of these games, you could probably get 10 to 15% more than market value if you were trying to sell this. So, in grand total, I definitely think this was worth it. The condition alone on these games made this well worth it. Now, I will say, buying mystery boxes, you're potentially going to get bad games, great games, cheap games, expensive games. No matter what, I think if you're going to buy a mystery box, you got to know you might win some, you might lose some. But I definitely think this was a win here. These condition of these games were pretty good. I would probably say these are good to great condition games. Some had some minor label damage. Not a big deal. I absolutely am fine with that. As long as these games play, that's all that matters. And I know that all of these games are going to play. And if they don't, you could always reach out to them and they'll definitely probably take care of it. But I think this was a great way to kind of grow a collection. If you've got some money and you kind of don't know where to go, a mystery box from Double Jump would be a great way to do it. Or if you're wanting to give someone a gift, or you're wanting someone to give you a gift, you could say, hey, support this game store that's a small game store that has a YouTube channel. Definitely go I'm suggesting go watch them because their channels are awesome. But these games right here are definitely well worth it. There's no bangers that are like $200 games. You're not going to get that. But I could probably have gotten it if I said I wanted $100 or $50 and up games. They might have been able to do something there. But I think this was definitely a good choice. I'm glad I did it. So check these guys out if you haven't already, but I'm getting out of here. I want to play some of these games and see what's all about some of these games that I've never played before. But If you've never seen that video right there, go ahead and check it out. I think this is definitely well worth it. There's some amazing games, and I think I might swap out some of these games for the condition of games I have on my shelf. So I'm definitely glad about that. But I'm getting out of here, so check out that video out if you haven't already.